All right, imagine this. What if the U.S. just decided to buy an entire country? Sound crazy, right? Yeah, well, that's exactly what Donald Trump tried to do back in 2019 with Greenland.
It sounds wild, but Trump wasn't actually the first U.S. president to try this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in 1946, President Truman offered Denmark $100 million in gold for Greenland. They said no thanks.
So why is Greenland so interesting to the U.S.? It's a massive island, mostly covered in ice. What gives?
Well, we've got some fascinating sources here that dig into the history, the resources, the whole global power game surrounding this audacious idea.
Lay it on us.
All right, well, let's start with history. During the Cold War, Greenland's location was super strategic, right between North America and Europe.
Perfect spot to keep an eye on things.
Exactly. A key vantage point to monitor military activity in the whole Arctic region.
And now with climate change, things are getting even more interesting up there, right?
You got it. Melting ice caps mean new shipping lanes are opening up, and that gives access to a whole bunch of untapped resources, oil, gas, you name it.
Yeah. And rare earth minerals. Those are critical for all sorts of modern tech.
Absolutely. China currently controls most of those supply chains, so securing access to Greenland's rare earth minerals would be a huge win for the U.S.
Economically and strategically, it's like a new gold rush, but for rare earth minerals.
Yeah, and then there's the military angle. Owning Greenland would give the U.S. a much stronger foothold in the Arctic, a region where Russia and China are already starting to flex their muscles.
Right, and Greenland is already home to Thule Air Base, a vital U.S. military installation.
Right.
So we have melting ice revealing valuable resources, a renewed strategic focus on the Arctic, and enter Donald Trump, a businessman known for his, shall we say, unconventional deal-making. He sees an opportunity.
He does. And while Trump publicly said he saw this as a large real estate deal, our sources suggest there are more layers to his motivations.
So let's peel back those layers. Was he really after real estate, or was this a calculated power play?
We have to remember Trump's background, right? A businessman. Deals and leverage are kind of his thing. He saw Greenland's potential, its strategic value, and maybe even a chance to make a bold move that would secure his legacy.
Sounds like a page straight out of his playbook. But did world leaders just let him waltz in and make an offer?
Oh, not at all. Trump's proposal was met with a resounding no from both Greenland and Denmark.
I bet that didn't go over well.
Greenland's leaders were furious. They called the idea absurd and made it clear that they were not for sale. They emphasized their right to self-determination. They were a nation, not a piece of property.
It's about their sovereignty, their identity, their right to decide their own future.
Exactly.
Which brings us to Denmark. They've been in control of Greenland for a long time. How did they react to Trump's grand plan?
The Danish prime minister also called the proposal absurd. It even caused a diplomatic row. Trump ended up canceling a state visit to Denmark because of it.
Wow.
This whole situation really highlights the tricky relationship between Denmark and Greenland.
Greenland has been pushing for more autonomy.
Right.
So Trump's proposal, while clumsy, might have actually helped Greenland's cause in the long run.
It's possible, by trying to exert control, he may have unintentionally pushed Greenland further down the path towards independence.
Talk about unintended consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So Trump's Greenland gambit exposed his own ambitions, ruffled diplomatic feathers, and highlighted Greenland's desire for self-determination. But did it change how the world viewed Greenland?
It did. Before this, Greenland was just this remote, icy island to most people.
Yeah.
Trump's proposal and all the media attention that came with it put Greenland in the spotlight. Suddenly, everyone was curious about this strategically important island with all these untapped resources.
From an icy backwater to a potential geopolitical hotspot.
Exactly. And that new visibility comes with its own set of opportunities and challenges for Greenland. They're now trying to figure out how to navigate this newfound attention, manage their resources sustainably, and protect their culture while also pursuing economic development.
It's like they've been thrust onto the world stage, and now they have to find their footing.
Exactly. And they have to do it all while dealing with the looming threat of climate change.
Right. The melting ice sheet is opening up new possibilities, but also posing serious threats to their way of life.
Absolutely.
So what does the future hold for Greenland? We'll dive into that next time as we continue to unpack Trump's Greenland gambit.